Stay tuned for Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, a leading financial retirement strategist and the founder of Soutas Financial and Insurance Solutions, right here in Fresno. Every week, Dale discusses pressing financial topics of the week, ranging from reliable income strategies to our financial markets, including Social Security, tax strategies, wealth management, RMDs, legacy planning, long-term care solutions, and most importantly, how to make sure you have enough guaranteed lifetime income to retire your way with choice and dignity. From taxes to trends to total transparency, Dale covers it all. And now, here is Retire Your Way and Dale Soutas. Thank you for joining us, folks. This is Retire Your Way with financial advisor Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. On today's program, the decisions you must make for retirement. This can include how and when to take your Social Security. What exactly do you do with your retirement accounts? How do you keep Uncle Sam out of your accounts as much as you possibly and legally can? And who will help you as you get older and older in retirement? Lots of decisions to make. Do you know what your answers are? If you're uncertain, continue to listen to today's program and Dale Soutas. Mr. Dale Soutas, how are you doing this week?
I am doing fine. So they're going to give us the answers, right? So I'll know what to tell people? Is that how it works?
No. But you're going to have to... You are going to have to come up with the answers.
Oh, is that how it works? Okay.
Yes. Or at least I might give you some of the ideas of what people think the answers are. Tell me if I'm in the neighborhood or not. Otherwise, how are you doing? I know you've had some family around at the middle of the year. We've had some triple-digit temperatures.
Yep.
Regular kind of year going on right now. Our markets are doing okay, but what are folks talking about as they come in the office right now?
Mainly, how do they make sure, their retirement is going to be okay? Will my income last? Will my money last? I mean, basically, the number one thing people ask is, am I on the right track? They like to just have backup, somebody who can look over things and pat them on the back and make sure they know they're doing okay and not have to worry about money down the road.
All right. So if that's on our listeners' minds, we want to let you know you can reach out to the studios. You can reach out to us here. We have folks who are standing by who will schedule an appointment for you. No cost, a complete portfolio review, taking a look at your investments, your tax strategy, estate planning, possibly your Medicare selections when those reviews come up. How do you leave and protect your assets for yourself, your spouse, for the next generation? All that and more, whatever else is on your mind, you can call the phone number. We'll put together your financial plan. 833-856-1382 is the phone number to call. I give that out because I want to let you know that's not going to interrupt the program here. That's going to go over to our call center. They'll schedule a time for you so you can talk with Dale over the phone or in person, whichever you prefer. So I started out at the top. Decisions you need to make for your retirement. Man, there's lots of them. Everything from Medicare, what do you do with your retirement accounts? I think you had somebody in, though, recently, and this is a very, very common one. How about this? We start out with this decision. When should you claim your Social Security?
Right. When should you start that? A lot of people, think they should start it as soon as they can because it might not be here. Don't be totally fooled by that thought. But I had somebody I was just talking to recently who's already partially retired. He works part-time a little bit, a couple, 2-3 days a week, if that, and has some other assets, 401ks to draw from to fill in the gaps, where our plan has been to delay Social Security until he reaches his full retirement age. Since he was born in 1960, that means full retirement age is 67. And he's only 65, same with his wife. So as we talked, he was thinking, well, maybe I'll start at the end of the year or first part of next year. But I said, well, if you're still working and he makes, he's a professional, he makes good money. And I showed him, well, as of 2026, for every $2 you make above $24,480, you will lose $1 of your Social Security back to Uncle Sam, and that's probably not a good thing to do. Plus, if you delay till your full retirement age, you're 67, your wife will be 67 just a couple months before you. she can file off of your record because her Social Security is very small, and she can get half of yours. So let's say his Social Security is $40,000 a year at full retirement age. That means when he files for his, she can file off of his record and get $20,000 coming in, for herself. That's a better way of maximizing it. But if he starts early and then she starts early, she's getting a reduced amount. They're both getting a reduced amount, and they're situated where it's not going to be difficult to delay until the following year, basically allowing them both to reach age 67. So the timing of Social Security is important. Sometimes I'm showing people how to delay all the way till 70, which really can maximize, what they can get. It also helps if for married couples, let's say the husband's Social Security is higher and he delays till age 70, way down the road, if she knocks him off, if he dies, she will get the higher of the two Social Security amounts. So for long-term planning, it can be, it just know how to maximize it for your situation. Not everybody's the same. Sometimes it does make sense to start it early, but most of the time it doesn't. So it doesn't cost a dime to know how to look at it properly for your situation.
Yeah. Would you brought in a lot of different variables in there. Let me ask you, is Social Security, in your opinion, an age decision then or an income decision? Because, a lot of people say, well, I'm 65, I'm going to take it now. I'm 66 or I'm 67, I'm going to go ahead and take that Social Security. But if you don't consider the actual
good
income
question.
part.
Is it age or income? It's income based on age. So it's a combination of both, yet it's also based on, well, what do you really need in retirement to pay the bills, to spoil your spouse, spoil the kids and grandkids, to be able to do the fun things you want to do? How do we maximize it? Don't just take it, I can get X amount of dollars. Well, what if you can get, quite a bit more just by delaying a little bit? And that little bit more, people are living longer. Don't be fooled by after 10 or 12 years, I've gotten, more out of Social Security that first 10 years or so than if I delayed. Because if you live past that 10, 12 years, now you're getting, if you start it later, you're getting a whole lot more out of Social Security over the long haul. So again, it's based on age and your income need is really the way I look at it.
Okay, so what should people consider? First, let's consider for folks who have not turned on Social Security yet, what are some of the factors that they should start to think about? They're driving around in their cars right now. They're hearing your radio program. Should they consider their family's past life history and expectancy, the family history? Should they look at what they spend per month and look at more of their income plan? Spouses, should we look to see if there's an age gap between us and how much, and kind of figure out who's going to get higher amount and all that? What are those more? Am I missing any of them?
It could be a combination of all of those, but okay, so you're driving around. If I'm listening to this and I'm driving around, I would think, what do I need to do? I need to first figure out, well, what is my projected Social Security? If you don't get the reports like they used to mail to us every year, then you go to ssa.gov and set up your own login password, pull up your current projected Social Security for both you and, if you're married, your spouse. We sit down with you. We look at what are your needs month to month. We have a nice monthly spending sheet that might incorporate things people don't normally think of that they spend money on, but they do. So that helps us to see what their true monthly needs really are, what they need to pay the bills, as well as, what are the things, if you're getting closer to retirement, what are the fun things you want to do or do more of? The couple I was talking to, they're traveling regularly. They're, doing some fun things already, even though he's not fully retired, but they do have more free time to be able to do that. So what are the things you want to do besides just pay the bills? I want you to be able to enjoy retirement. So I don't want you worrying about your money or your income. What is your current, roughly your ballpark balances of the different types of accounts and investments you have? I don't have to have down to the penny. I don't need account numbers, Social Security numbers, but we're going to look at that whole, your whole picture to develop a clear retirement income plan so you could see, do you need to tweak anything or not? What if you don't need to tweak anything? Just keep doing and yeah, go ahead and start Social Security at this point or that point or whatever you're thinking and you'll be okay. Well, that'd be nice to know. So but what are the amounts you're expected to get? Some people are getting pensions as well. How does all that factor in? Maybe you have, rental properties, rental income. That's not guaranteed lifetime income, but it's nice as long as you're able to keep your properties rented and keep
Hmm.
people happy in them. But so there's to keep it simple. We walk people through step by step. We don't make it complicated or difficult to understand, how to really develop their income plan.
We wish we could have just one straight answer of exactly when you're supposed to take your Social Security, but honestly, that's why it is an individual decision. Folks, call the phone number. We can help you figure out how to retire your way. The decision on when do you take Social Security for yourself, possibly for your spouse as well, your partner. These are incredibly important in the building blocks of your income plan in retirement. Please do not guess at this. If you've already turned on your Social Security and would like to review with your investments to see if it is timed properly and do we need to make some tweaks and adjustments for the rest of your portfolio, either of you, call the phone number, set up your time so you can sit down with Dale Soutas. It is no cost to you. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. More with Dale Soutas right after this. You've heard the phrase, you don't know what you don't know, and we believe it's especially true when it comes to retirement planning. There's a lot of information out there, and it can be overwhelming and confusing. So how do you know what you don't know? Social Security, RMDs, estate planning, investment risk. These are just a few of the many areas that a financial advisor can help you navigate. But what else don't you know when it comes to retirement planning? Are you aware of all of the tax implications of your investments? Do you know how to optimize your Social Security benefits? What about your long-term care and estate planning needs? We believe that by working with a retirement planning advisor, you can uncover potential blind spots in your financial plan and gain a better understanding of your options. Don't let unknown factors potentially derail your retirement. Call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial to uncover what you may not know about your retirement future and start your complimentary written financial plan. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Or you can write Dale at dale@soutas.com. That's SOUTAS.com.
Do you know how you'll generate income from your investments along with your Social Security in retirement? In our opinion, it's never too early to start the income planning process for your future. An income plan can help you work towards creating a steady stream of income to support you throughout your retirement years. Don't leave your financial future to chance. Take control today and start income planning for your retirement. Call the team at Soutas Financial so we can help you design a complimentary written income plan to help you live the retirement you've always wanted. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. The decisions you need to make for your retirement. Social Security obviously is a huge one. Next question, next decision you need to make is what exactly do you do with your retirement investment accounts? Okay, you're packing up the box. They're throwing you the retirement party. You get the sheet cake with your name on it, gold-plated Timex. I don't know if they still do that. You get your retirement party. You take your stuff. You're on the way out. What do you do now with the retirement accounts?
Good question. So
That's why I asked you.
Yeah. I mean, once you retire, those accounts technically, and you think, well, these are my accounts. Once you go to start moving them into an individual retirement account, they refer to those as an IRA. You find out that, I got to sometimes jump through hoops and do all kinds of paperwork to get the company to sign off or lease my money to my other account. So don't be fooled by these company-sponsored plans. They are still, to some degree, in control by your company. If you're in love with the company and you think that's the only way to fly, well, see how, then fly with them and hope and hang on tight. But most company-sponsored, retirement plans, whether it's a 401k, 403b, it could be a TSP, thrift savings plan through the government programs, 457s. They're mainly invested into things like stocks, bonds, and cash. So as you get closer to retirement, most people realize they should not be taking as much risk as they did when they started those accounts. So how do we make sure that your risk level is, proper for your overall goals, your plan?
Mm-hmm.
So we can do a risk assessment as well and show you exactly. Sometimes I've had people come in and say, "Oh, I told my advisor I want to be conservative," and so I get their accounts and I start looking. They have a balanced portfolio, which is 60% stocks, 40% bonds. And unfortunately, that's kind of risky. If we have another crash, you could lose 25 to 35% of your balance fairly quick. So that might not be considered really conservative. So how do you position those funds? What do you need them to do? Sometimes Social Security, if all you get is Social Security and that's not enough to pay the bills, sometimes it's wise to set up some separate accounts with some of your retirement savings, a little bit of it, to provide some additional guaranteed lifetime income so that your income plan is solid. I don't want people worrying about how to pay the bills, or when the market drops, I better not pull money out of my accounts because, I'm, going to lower that account, big time compared to if it was going up, obviously. But the ups and downs of the market, if the market's down, sometimes people think, well, maybe I need to tighten the belt and not do as many things, but that's no way to be retired. I want people to be focused on the fun things they want to do, the important things they want to do in retirement, and not be focused on their money and worrying about it and hoping it's going to last.
So we're rolling over from our retirement account, the 401k or 403b or 457. I hear a lot of government employees, though, say, I'm going to leave my money in the TSP. I like the way the G fund performs, and usually very conservative investors. But should you leave it at your employer if you are leaving the building? Some people might say, hey, look, it was managed by this, this big name firm. We all know a few of them. And shouldn't I just leave it there? Look how great it did. Why do I need to roll it over and I already know my passwords and I know what page I need to go to on the internet to go and find it. Is it a bad thing to leave it behind?
It can be. And like the G fund you're talking about, it's very low return. It's a safer method. But again, what do you really want that money to do for you in retirement? Do you just want to watch it and hope that it grows? Do you want it to be able to be accessed easily, to be able to do more things in retirement? There's a variety. Worst case scenario, if I may. There was a company that encouraged their employees to buy company stock inside their 401ks to keep investing in the company that way, which inflated that company's stock value, and they were playing games. And when time came when the company really had its problems, see, those are company-sponsored plans. They're in control. So the company had financial problems. And what they did, they froze the employees' 401ks. You couldn't touch it. The executives got to do whatever they wanted. They liquidated theirs right away. And there were literally employees with, millions in their 401ks that walked away with 30, 40,000. Now, not that the company, and especially if you're working for the government, is like Enron. That's what happened there. But you got to understand, company-sponsored 401k, 403b, all this, they're still somewhat controlled by the company. Basically, the encouragement or the benefit of a company offering 401ks to its employees is they get to show all these assets when they go to, say, borrow money. This is what our company's worth. They're showing what you and I consider our money as part of theirs. So again, do you keep it with the company? Are you in love with the company? Do you trust that they're going to make sure that's managed properly? There's a lot of questions there, but the main thing is, what do you want that money to do for you? What if, again, you need more liquidity? How do you position some of that retirement money so you can grab it readily, quickly to do the things you want? What if, again, you need more income in retirement? How do you position some of that to provide some additional income? So, or maybe you want to provide a legacy for your kids and grandkids. How do you position some of that in a better way to produce more for your loved ones? So
Well, that leads me
too
to
many questions.
a follow-up question on another decision you need to make, not only with those retirement accounts, but should you continue managing your own investments in retirement, just like you have with your 401ks or the TSP or the 457? Should you keep being this now fund manager when you roll it over to yourself and, give yourself a new full-time job of being an investment manager and hoping you get it right?
I have ones over the years who that's kind of their hobby, and they'll spend 4 or 6 hours a day at least. They love doing that. Well, that's great. Yet, what about the other things they need and want? Need to pay the bills, and they want to spoil the family, the spouse, do the fun things. So sometimes having some of your money where you get to manage it yourself, that's fine. But is that what you're depending on keeping you going throughout you and your spouse's lifetime? You're managing it yourself. It's a variety. I mean, I have one gentleman we were talking to recently where he's still working part-time, and we've positioned some money. It's safe, it's protected, it's growing. We've got a plan for future income built in, and he has some of his money still with the current 401k company that he's keeping an eye on, he's managing, and it's doing okay. We're not worried about it. He's adding a little bit to it. But the beauty of the whole picture is he doesn't have all of his money still totally at risk in one way, like with the company plan. So he's diversified. So if the market does change, he's not going to have as big a hit as he would if he left it all with, the same company. So there's, how do you put it? There's better ways to mix things up, but it's again based what do you want to do?
Well, I mean, and for our listeners, ask themselves, do you want to be watching the markets? Do you want to be the one protecting yourself if there's a wave that's coming? Do you want to be the one who's protecting yourself if there's a financial earthquake that comes and getting it wrong? And please remember things like 2008 and 2000 when there was market downturns, and 2020. We have been self-directed in our 401ks for most of our lives, and I don't think folks were getting a lot of advice of what to do. It was just keep putting money in. Your employer's going to match it. Keep doing that, and then take it with you when you retire. Okay, but now what? How do you turn it into income? How do you maybe make sure it still has some growth? And how do you protect it from the downturns in the market, which are inevitable to happen in the next 20 or 30 years? Ask yourself this: do you want to be an investment fund manager and making sure that your money lasts as long as you possibly can for you and maybe even a spouse? And what happens if you get it wrong? If you want to know what to do with your retirement accounts as you're stepping into retirement, or to review to see what you're doing right now, call the phone number. Schedule a time. Sit down with Dale. Let us do your free portfolio review. It's no cost to you. 833-856-1382. Call it. Have the person sit next to you in the car call it right now. And keep this number in your phone. Call it when you're ready. But call it this week. Call it this weekend. 833-856-1382. Or if you want to, you can schedule your own time at his website, Soutas.com, Soutas.com. More with Dale Soutas after this. Social Security is easy, right? The question is, should I take it sooner or later? Well, there are dozens and dozens of ways to take Social Security if you're single, and even more if you're married. This one-time decision can also affect how much you pay in taxes, how much you receive in lifetime payouts for you and possibly your spouse. You could increase your nest egg by tens of thousands of dollars just by being informed. Unfortunately, the Social Security office is not allowed to give you comprehensive financial planning advice. You've paid into Social Security for decades. Don't you want to make sure you optimize your retirement income? Sure, there are tons of online calculators that will tell you how much you will receive from Social Security? Now you need to build that into a retirement income plan with all of your assets. Get your own tailored, no-cost Social Security income strategy with the team at Retire Your Way and Soutas Financial. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Or you can write Dale Soutas at dale@soutas.com. SOUTAS.com.
Are you worried that you waited too late to start your retirement planning? That you waited too late to start saving? At Soutas Financial, we believe it's never too late to start planning for your future. We can help you develop a personalized retirement plan that is tailored to your current needs and goals. The team at Soutas Financial will sit down with you and provide an evaluation of your current path, including your investment strategy, tax planning, and risk management approach. We'll help you identify potential areas for improvement and work with you to create a retirement plan that is designed to help you work towards having financial security and peace of mind in retirement. It's not too late for you to get started with Soutas Financial. Call us today to schedule your complimentary retirement planning session. We believe we can help you get on the path to financial security and peace of mind in retirement. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial to get started on your own complimentary written financial plan. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Inflation has risen to the highest level in over 40 years, according to the April 2022 U.S. Inflation Calculator. Will your investments provide you the income you need in retirement? Are you losing purchasing power of your savings to inflation? Simply stated, if the daily cost of goods and services is 8% higher and you are earning 4% in your investments, that money buys you less of what you need. Right now is the time to act to be certain you have an income strategy that overcomes the effects of inflation. Get your own complimentary retirement income review by calling Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial and Retire Your Way, 833-856-1382. You might have the savings you need today to weather this storm, but how will inflation affect your nest egg 5, 10, or 15 years from now? Discover the peace of mind you deserve. Call and ask for your complimentary, no obligation retirement income review from Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial, 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. Hey, he's got tools on his website, totally free. We can get you a movie. You can have a movie event at your own house about retirement planning and the things that you need to think about. Go to the website. We have a couple of different trailers there. When you see the one that shows you some interest, like, oh my gosh, I'd like that, we can send you a link and then you can broadcast it at your house. Invite your friends, invite your neighbors, and say, hey, let's do a retirement event of our own and see what's some of these experts have to say. Go to Soutas.com. That's SOUTAS.com. SOUTAS.com. You can take a look at the baby boomer dilemma. We got a lot of baby boomers in our retirement right now. If you'd like to write Dale a question and have him answer it for you, or if you'd like to hear a topic on the radio, please let us know. Write him at info@soutas.com. That's info, the @ symbol on your keyboard, and SOUTAS.com. There's also a direct line for Dale, dale@soutas.com if you want. And you can also then go to our live events tab and see the next time that Dale's going to be live at Fresno State, and you can come and heckle him. You can come and ask him questions at his event about your retirement. So lots of tools over at his website, Soutas.com. Yes.
Yeah, one of the themes coming up is, wealth and wisdom.
Women, wisdom, wealth? Women,
yes,
wealth, wisdom. Wealth,
yes.
Women, and wisdom.
And it's important because a lot of times women might not now be handling the finances and the planning, but guess who's going to be handling it down the road if you're married? Most likely.
This is an incredible event. And just so you understand how very, very important it is. I don't care the demographic, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. Every man has some woman in their life that they love. I don't care if it was mom, sister, niece. We have women that we care about. So it's important for everyone. Women outlive us, statistically speaking. They tend to, because of wages in workplace, have less in retirement savings. They have less accumulated in Social Security. This is an incredibly important topic for the women to make sure that we understand how important retirement planning is for them. And what Dale is saying is that, look, chivalry-wise, a lot of times in a marriage, maybe one person was taking care of all the financial decisions. We've seen thousands of households where it's the opposite, where women take care of all of the bills and the checks, and that's awesome. Your house is defined how your house is. But it's really important that everybody understands why it's important for women to be doing retirement planning. I mean, both of my grandmothers were in long-term care up until their late 90s. Social Security, yes, there's cost of living adjustments, but when you consider factors like inflation and higher healthcare costs and all that, we've really got to make sure our women have a plan. So Dale is putting together a specific women's event on topics and, more importantly, what to-dos. What do you do for the women in your life in retirement planning? So again, go to our website and then go to the live events tab and see when those are coming up. Soutas.com, Soutas.com.
And sorry, it's about free, financial education. I mean, we put these workshops on. There's no gimmicks, games, no cost, right at Fresno State, once a month on different topics usually. And as well as the movies. There's 2 movies on our website. If you like the trailers, just request, and we'll be glad to give you the info how you can see those. One's the Baby Boomer Dilemma, and the other one is The Power of Zero. Very powerful information, very helpful for people now, especially because one of the topics. Power Zero is hitting hard the topic of taxes in retirement. So that's something people don't really take into a lot of account once they get retired. They just figure, well, my taxes might be lower, but they might be higher down the road. So how do we plan better for that too?
Yeah, which, thank you for the segue. I appreciate it, because my next decision that you have to make in retirement and for your retirement is who's going to handle your taxes in retirement. I put it to you this way, folks. If you ever heard the phrase, a doctor who treats himself as a fool for a patient, are you your own tax guide in retirement? Dale, I had to look this up. This is unbelievable. Do you have any idea how many pages the U.S. tax code is?
I think about 3 or 4, right?
No, 3 or 4 million. The U.S. tax code, along with amendments, judges' rulings, things that you need to be aware of, can be, beyond the book itself, can be up to 75,000 pages. 75,000 pages of U.S. tax code. Now, of course, for retirement planning, it doesn't mean it's all of it, but I'm sure you have that entire book memorized, right, Dale?
Oh, yeah.
And so do all of our listeners. Everybody's read the U.S. tax code, right?
Oh, it's what I go to sleep by.
One summer, I love to travel around with books, and I would go to the beach and down in Malibu when I was down more around that area, and go to the beach in Malibu. I remember 2 months in a row, I lugged War and Peace with me, and I thought, I'm gonna get through one of these classics. I've always wanted to read this. I would get through the same 3 or 4 pages in the beginning, and I just couldn't do it. And you know what? War and Peace is only about 1,500 pages, considered one of the biggest books ever in history. The tax code, 75,000. How many pieces of tax code do you think our listeners out there can get wrong or not know about by doing taxes on their own?
Oh, I regularly see it. I have people who think they're doing things right, and it could be they're still working. Maybe they have their little business, and there's some simple things they can do to reduce taxes now. But primarily, when people get closer to or in retirement, how do we minimize taxes down the road? People many times don't understand what they can do with Roth conversions. They think they're limited to, $7,000 or $8,000 a year. No, you could convert any amount you want. Just understand the tax consequences, and how do you plan to keep it in a range, the proper tax brackets, or keep below certain tax brackets. But There's a lot of things. Or if you do a Roth conversion, like we had somebody recently who thought each time you do a Roth conversion, you have a new 5-year rule where you can't play with that money. No, once you set up a Roth and have had a Roth, any Roth, for 5 years or longer, then not only the principal, but more so the interest can be played with if you're past 50, if you're 59 and a half or older. Prior to 59 and a half, if you're young, whatever you convert to Roth, you can still play with that principal because you've already paid tax on it. It's already after-tax money. It's just the interest you can't play with until you're 59 and a half and or have had a Roth for 5 years. So there's a lot of little rules, tax rules, sometimes just on that one little aspect of, Roth type strategies, which you are able to get Uncle Sam out of some of your retirement money doing Roth conversions.
Are there CPA tax preparers that are better suited for retirement planning? Or, do we just keep using the same person we have our entire life and, do our tax preparer that, we talk to in the first quarter of the year who tells us what our tax bill is? Well, how do you find the right person to help you get tax efficient for retirement?
So the ones out there who've memorized the 75,000 pages and they're using that online, that software to do their own tax returns. Sometimes they are missing some things that they could do. Basically, a lot of times I see people, they get their taxes done and, I just saved, a couple thousand or whatever this year. And the CPAs are great. Their tax preparer is great showing them how to save taxes today. And I say, whoop-de-doo, because it's not about just today. You lower your taxes today by putting money into tax-deferred accounts. You're deferring the tax on that income, not only to a later date, but to a later tax calculation, which, who's going to say tax rates in 5-10 years or more are going to be lower than they are today? No one says that. So why defer taxes on this income to a later time and likely a higher tax rate? It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it sure made it easier to pay the tax preparer their fee because they saved you whatever dollars they did. So be careful. It's not about just taxes today. It's about your future in retirement. How do we reduce taxes in retirement?
I'll add to it. Don't just go to your tax preparer every year and say, I want to pay as little in taxes as possible. I know that's what everybody wants to do. In fact, you want to get a little bit of that return back, right? What we'd like for you to start saying to your tax people is, I want to pay as little in taxes in retirement as possible. How do we do that? What do I need to start doing this year and next year and the year after that? We're in some of the lowest tax rates in history right now. I know it doesn't feel like that in the state of California, but as far as federal taxes and the tax brackets, we are in some of the lowest, about the third lowest. So take advantage of these lower tax rates right now to try to create tax-free income later in retirement. If you'd like to know what that looks like for you personally, call the phone number, set up your time. Dale will do your income and tax review. 833-856-1382. When you're calling that phone number, you're calling to schedule a time. You can come in. You can ask a question over the phone if you want to. We'll schedule a time, 15 or 30 minutes if you want to, but let us help you get tax efficient in retirement. 833-856-1382. Call it right now. Ask for your free portfolio and tax review. We'll be right back with Dale Soutas right after this.
How do you know if you're retirement ready? That's a question many people ask themselves as they approach their golden years. We believe the answer can be complex and depends on many factors, such as your savings, monthly expenses, and lifestyle goals. At Soutas Financial, we can help you determine if you're retirement ready. We'll work with you to assess your financial situation, identify any potential income gaps, and develop a customized plan that aligns with your goals. Don't leave your retirement to chance. Call us today to learn how we can help you work towards achieving financial security and peace of mind in retirement. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial for your complimentary retirement readiness review. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. There are a lot of decisions that you need to make for your retirement. Some of them are permanent or relatively permanent, like Social Security. Some of them are things that you consider and have multiple options and answers, like where do you roll over your former retirement accounts to? How do you have them managed? Do you yourself? Another one is who's going to prepare your taxes for you in retirement to really take advantage of all 75,000 plus pages of the tax code. And this one is important. This one's somewhat of an annual one, I think, is which medical coverages do you choose? I will start out with Medicare. Which Medicare coverage is right for you? That is a decision you have to make. Is there a right, or more, is there a wrong on Medicare coverage?
Good question. So let's say, you're not with a company health plan, you're going to be turning 65. 2 to 3 months before then, you want to apply for both Medicare Part A and B. Part A is free. Part B costs, in 2026, it costs $202.90 per month. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so Part B covers the things outside of the hospital, doctor visits, x-ray lab, all those kinds of things. You'll still need a Medicare Part D, like Dale plan, which covers prescriptions. That should be reviewed from year to year if you have a standalone plan, based on your current meds and what the insurance company does and doesn't pay for, what kind of meds they do pay for. What they call it a formulary, all the drugs they pay. That should be reviewed. Now, the choices you have when you get into retirement with Medicare, the health plan choices, you could get a Medicare supplement, and that would be, again, a plan separate that you basically fills in the gaps of what Medicare A and B leaves you owing, minus roughly a 200, let's say, it's less than 300 a year deductible per person. The beauty of a plan, a Medicare supplement like a G, which is the better one that's available right now, you have no other out-of-pocket for your medical expenses other than for prescriptions if you're using doctors that or facilities that work with Medicare. So the Medicare Advantage plans people hear about where you pay little or zero monthly premium and you have little co-pays when you go see the doctor, just be aware that you're assigning your Medicare A and B over to an insurance company, and it can be like a Kaiser Senior Advantage. It could be many insurance companies have Medicare Advantage plans, but they're more managed. You got to stay within the network. You got to go to the doctors they say. You can't just go to wherever or whenever. The supplements allow you to bypass your own main primary doctor and go see a specialist if you'd prefer, without getting a referral or without getting permission, so to speak.
We all know that run around. If you need a specialist, usually they'll say, "Oh no, you can't just call them directly. You got to sit with your primary first, and then get, the permission to go and see somebody from there." So that's nice to know. When it comes to some Medicare stuff, so let's say you've been living in your community for a long time, you've had the same doctors for 10 or 15 or 20 years. Should you go to your doctor and talk to them about this? Like, hey, do you know, or their doctors, administrators, and just ask them how good they are with Medicare coverage, or do you just go right with the coverage and hope that your doctors, all take the Medicare?
Well, the first thing I look at is with your income plan, can you afford to just have a supplement ongoing? If so, that gives you more freedom. If you get on a Medicare Advantage plan, as we're talking about, you might need to be talking to your doctors. Do they work with this plan or not? Because not all doctors accept these Medicare Advantage plans. The other thing you need to be aware of, once you're on a Medicare Advantage plan for over 12 months, you cannot just jump back and say, I'd rather be on a supplement without jumping through hoops and making sure that they see that you're insurable. In other words, you've got to apply and show that you're healthy enough to get on it. And you're 65 plus. At this point, it might be hard to show that you're healthy enough. Sometimes they might have an open enrollment, but don't hold your breath for those. So, there's a lot of variables. We have specialists that we can refer ones to understand the ins and outs of the Medicare options and to figure out what's best for them. But I typically give an overview like I just did. Medicare Advantage plans are managed where you've got to stay within a certain network. You've got to, get referrals before you go on to specialists. It might save you monthly costs. Just understand the variety of them. Some have as low as roughly $1,000 max out of pocket on copays. Some 4, 6, 7,000 max per year copay cap. Or so you got to understand how they work. What's the ins and outs? Don't just do it blindly because a friend is doing that. Don't just.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, I see what you say. Yeah, don't just do, hey, your friend down the block. It's the same thing as about taking your Social Security. It's the same thing about who's going to manage your investments or who's going to do your taxes. Don't always take the advice of the neighbor down the street, the friend at the water cooler, the person in the lunchroom with you, family member at the next gathering. You need a situation and a review that is dedicated for you, your goals and objectives. The Medicare, whether it's original, Medicare Advantage, the supplements, you want to review those options carefully. You want to review those annually. Again, this is about financial efficiency in retirement. And Dale and his team, well, Dale himself has been a specialist in this area for a long time, and now you've been training your other team members. So we've got a lot of folks. And you might say, why in the world, in the middle of the year, are they talking about this? That season is going to come up, and you're going to get bombarded with the commercials and the mailers. It might be a good time to start thinking about it when we don't have a whole bunch of other things like the holiday season upon us. So just know you've got a resource here. If you want to know if your Medicare and your selections are working for you, or just have somebody to talk about with and kind of go through the selections, call the phone number, schedule a time, 833-856-1382. We'll consider things like, what are your current health needs? A little bit of your family history. Do you have certain kinds of history already in your family that maybe we'll be aware of and say, hey, maybe we want to consider this coverage? Or do you already know that you're heavy on prescriptions? We'll help you with those conversations. 833-856-1382. Dale, another question we need to consider, and we might not think it's, so important right away, but where are you going to live in your retirement? I mean, we know that a lot of people have picked California and lived in California for a reason, but is this an important consideration?
It's funny. It's funny you ask, because the same ones I've been talking to recently, one where they're, he's working part-time and so on. Many times I have people saying, they have the kids here, or maybe the kids are elsewhere, maybe even out of state. I had one recently say, well, yeah, the kids and the grandkids are right here, but they're looking at getting out of California for various reasons. So guess what? So when we're talking about where you're going to live in retirement, I usually ask families, well, where are your grandkids? That's my first question, because where the grandkids are, typically that's where grandma wants to be. And that makes sense, doesn't it? So, where you're going to be. Sometimes people want to get out of California for various reasons. So if that's the case, where are you going to go? We can help people wherever they go. Typically we get your main plan set up if you need help with that, and that plan is still good. We know how to talk to people on the phone. We know how to do the Zoom meetings. We can show things to you just like you're sitting, at our desk. With our monitors, you could see it on our monitor. So we can help you no matter where you go. But where you're going to be typically a lot of times has to do with your priorities. Sometimes it's, like I said, the grandkids. Sometimes it's the types of interests and hobbies people have. I had one recently. I had recently, within the last 6 months, 2 different couples that when they retire, they want to basically kind of like be nomads a little bit. They're not going to settle down. They know they're going to go elsewhere. So they're going to have a fifth wheel or some kind of trailer, and they're going to just travel. One has family in different states, so they're going to stay with one, for so long, and then move to another until they decide really where they want to settle down in retirement. So it can vary quite a bit. It just, we can help you no matter where you go. We can coach you, no matter where you go.
And there are some considerations. It's not just where will you live, it's how long are we planning on living there? Do we need to make modifications to the home? Do we have space for the grandkids to come and visit us? Are we going to be travelers and not spending as much time in the home? So it's, you've built this vessel that you brought up yourselves and your family. Now, what do you do with it? Is this your last retirement stop? So do we need to consider how we protect it? Or is this something that you're going to be moving on from? Are we going to be downsizing? So there's a lot of considerations on far as where am I going to live in retirement, or maybe even one of those retirement communities. So all of these kinds of questions, we talked about taxes and investments and your Social Security timing and even healthcare selections. This is what a retirement financial advisor can talk to you about with. Is your financial representative right now just talking to you once a year about your investment returns? If so, you're probably not with a retirement specialist like Dale Soutas. If you would like to get started on your free portfolio review, call the phone number, call it right now. Schedule a time. It is no cost, no obligation. 30, 60 minutes, maybe longer. It's dedicated to you, your goals, your objectives, and your worries. Call 833-856-1382 right now. Schedule that time, or if you want, when you get home, you can go to the website and type this in, Soutas.com, Soutas.com, and you can schedule your own free portfolio review right there. For Dale Soutas, I'm Spike. We'll both be back again next week.
As a valued radio listener of Retire Your Way, Dale and his entire team of retirement professionals invite you to schedule your very own complimentary retirement plan review session. 833-856-1382 is the number for you to call. If you don't have a retirement strategy mapped out that includes low-fee investment elections, tax minimization strategies, decumulation plans that will last as long as you need them to, then call for your very own retirement review session, complimentary for our valued radio listeners. Are you able to lower your taxes in retirement? Are you unclear about your Social Security, Medicare, investment fees and risk, or how to produce guaranteed lifetime income so your lifestyle and goals don't have to be changed with the ups and downs of the market or taxes? Call Dale Soutas with Soutas Financial and be confident you can retire your way. Schedule your own comprehensive and complimentary retirement review session. Don't just live in retirement, thrive. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. This is not endorsed or affiliated with the Social Security Administration or any U.S. government agency. A Roth conversion may not be suitable for your situation. The primary goal in converting retirement assets into a Roth IRA is to reduce the future tax liability on the distributions you take in retirement or on the distributions of your beneficiaries. The information provided is to help you determine whether or not a Roth IRA conversion may be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Please review your retirement savings, tax, and estate/legacy planning strategies with your legal/tax advisor to be sure a Roth IRA conversion fits into your planning strategies. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and/or guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products overseen by state insurance regulators and not any investment advisory products. Rates and guarantees provided by insurance products and annuities are subject to the financial strength of the issuing insurance company, not guaranteed by any bank or the FDIC. This is not endorsed or affiliated with any federal Medicare program, nor any U.S. government agency. If applicable, we do not offer every plan available in your area, and contacting us will direct you to a licensed insurance agent. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all of your options.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, Foundations, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Any discussions of specific strategies are for informational purposes only and have been provided to help determine whether they may be appropriate for your specific situation. If applicable, the primary goal is converting retirement assets into a Roth IRA is to reduce the future tax liability on the distributions you take in retirement or on the distributions of your beneficiaries. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Comments regarding a particular client's experience may or may not be the same as another client's experience and is not an indication that any client or prospective client will experience the same or a higher level of future success or performance. Foundations only transact transacts business in those jurisdictions where it's properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. Nothing herein constitutes a recommendation that any security, portfolio, or securities or investment strategy is suitable for any specific person. No legal or tax advice is provided. Please review your retirement, tax, and estate legacy planning strategies with a legal tax professional before transacting or implementing any strategies discussed herein. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not in any way refer to investment advisory products. Rates and guarantees provided by insurance products and annuities are subject to the financial strength of the issuing insurance company, not guaranteed by any bank or the FDIC. This is not endorsed or affiliated with the Social Security Administration, any federal Medicare program, nor any U.S. government agency. If applicable, we do not offer every plan available in your area, and contacting us at the phone numbers provided herein will direct you to a licensed insurance agent. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all your options. All rights reserved.